Hi everyone, how's everyone doing? So if you're watching this for the first time, my name is Marianne. I'm the owner at Marianne Hanson Counselling Service. I'm also a wellbeing and confidence coach. And this is an area that I work with quite a lot, and it's around self-esteem, self-love. And what I want to talk about in this video is how to talk to yourself in a more loving way, or talking to yourself like you love yourself. So many people, especially over the years, I've been working as a counsellor now for 16 years, and probably within 90% of the work that I do, a lot of it stems from self-esteem and not having a good self-concept. So many of the clients I work with will be talking about themselves in negative and using negative language or in a negative way. So whenever you talk to yourself in a negative way, even if you're doing that consciously, so you're aware of it, or unconsciously, so you're not even aware that you're doing it as much, it serves no benefit for you, because it basically is you saying that you don't value yourself, you don't love yourself. If you're constantly being harsh, beating yourself up, saying you're stupid, saying you're ugly, saying you're worthless, you're basically saying to yourself, you don't have value, you don't love yourself. So although it is not as easy as just flipping a switch and then all of a sudden you talk to yourself in a positive way, you can work with coaches, counsellors, whether it's pastors, people close to you who you trust and you care about their views, their opinions of you, you know that they care about you. You can work with them in a way to sort of reverse it. So as I said, you can never feel good about yourself when you are using negative self-talk. It's impossible. If you're constantly criticizing yourself, then you can't really be feeling good, because the minute, if you think about it, if someone else was constantly saying negative things to you in your relationship, or your friends, if they were saying you're stupid, you're worthless, you're not good enough, you don't deserve this or that, you wouldn't feel good, and you probably wouldn't tolerate it either. You'd probably set boundaries. So why would you do it to yourself? So the first step really on the journey of talking to yourself in a more positive way is identify the origins and the roots. Sometimes people don't know, so I'm working with people sometimes for many, many months or years even, and they keep saying, my childhood was fine, I've not had any event or significant relationship that has been negative, I can't identify the roots or the cause. What I would say is that even though the person might not be aware of the roots or the origins, even though they might not be able to recall it, there is always something which has led you to being down on yourself or having low self-esteem. It doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't just happen from nowhere. So if we can spend time actually uncovering or discovering what the issue is, the origins, then that's the first step. The second thing then is practice speaking to yourself in a nicer way. You know, it's not going to come overnight, and it's not going to come easy. You know, when people say this thing, easier said than done, that's the saying that everyone keeps. I wish people I wish that saying would go away, because it's not about things being easy. Even if they're hard to do, you can still do things. But once you say easier said than done, what you're basically saying is that there's no way I can do this, or it's easy for me to say, but it's not easy for me to do it. Well, it doesn't have to be easy for you to do it, you still can. So talking to yourself in a nice way is going to take time, it's going to take practice, it's going to probably feel tricky at first, it's going to feel uncomfortable at first because you're so used to beating yourself up, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Practice makes perfect. So there's that. Then the next thing is to visualize how you will feel, visualize what life you can have when you start talking to yourself in a better way. I've spent lots of time on this channel talking about the fact that, I've been through bereavements, I was bullied at school, I've had breakups, I've been cheated on. There's been a lot of things, not loads of things, but there's been things that have impacted on how I feel about myself and questioned who I am as a person. But it's never made me then think that, deep down I know who I am, deep down I know that I'm a good person, I know that I am confident within myself, I know no matter what other people say or think or feel, they're not going to be able to bring me down to a level where I don't feel good about myself, because I have a lot of self-love. So the way to think about it is visualize what it will feel like that day when you are feeling more confident. Visualize what it will feel like to not talk badly about yourself. I don't think I've ever said you're stupid, to myself. I don't think I've ever said you're ugly or this or that. No matter what other people might think, this is the other thing to think about. If you're beating yourself up, then you're giving someone else a head start on what they're going to do, because how is someone going to say nice things to you? If you're already criticizing yourself, you're giving them permission to say, yeah, that's true about yourself. So just visualize it. Think about what your life could be like if you were more confident, if you were more loving towards yourself, if you had like a deep sense of self-love. And the final thing is maintenance. With any habit or with anything we do, we have to maintain it. Maintenance is the hardest stage because we're so used to certain habits that we go back to them quickly. So when I'm working with my clients and I start to notice, I'm quite big on noticing language that they use. So if my clients start going back to saying they're stupid or saying, you know, they're not good enough or this sort of thing, I make sure I go back and I say, I've noticed you're starting to say that again, or where is this coming from that you're starting to use this language now? So maintaining it means that you don't go back to doing that. You catch it before it starts. So you say, no, I'm not stupid if I've, you know, dropped a glass, it's just an accident. No, I'm not stupid if I go back to my boyfriend, you know, and everyone's telling me not to. It's just a learning process that I have to go through. So I think overall, you have to cultivate self-love, and cultivating it, same as you cultivate a garden, same as you cultivate if you were taking an exam and you had to study for it. You know, if you didn't do the work, then you're probably not going to pass. Some people have just got that fluke where they can pass. You know, everything in life takes time, it takes patience. So just remember that, and just think if you're worth it, then you're going to do the work. So thanks for watching. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, feel free to share it with other people. Feel free to let me know what you think, and consider subscribing to my channel. I appreciate you all for watching. Thanks for watching. Bye.